Let's see. Is there sound? Let's see. Is there sound? Yes. Yes, there is. Alright, folks. Back to our regularly scheduled program. Sorry about the last few streams. You know, sorry about the lackluster content recently. But hey, when you're sick, you gotta do what you gotta do. So I am feeling much better today. Very much better today. My sore throat has died down to maybe, let's say, 10%. So I'm almost there, almost fully recovered. Not quite there yet, but almost. Almost fully there. I gotta really lock in and recover, because my friend's birthday is in a week from now. Like, literally a week from today. And speaking of locking in, we are now 10 streams into shiny hunting for Mewtwo. We are officially into double digits for live streams for a shiny. Not even Zygarde took this long. Oh yeah, I also want to address what happened at the end of last time. So, last time I clearly did not end at midnight. Matter of fact, I ended like 20 minutes before midnight. What happened was, at that moment, my internet cut out. My internet crashed. My internet's been having cutouts every now and then for the past little while. Periodically, the internet would just go offline, and then, you know, a couple minutes later, it would just come back on. I figured, well, nobody cares, nobody watches, and what's 20 minutes, right? So I decided, let's just call it for tonight. You know, it wasn't really worth me coming back on for just 20 minutes and then editing the parts together. So last night we ended like 20 minutes earlier just because my internet cut out. I am using a mic again. I got my headphones back on. The mic on my headphones, that's what I'm using again. Well, nobody told me if no mic was better or not. So, now I'm doing this again. So I don't want to overdo it tonight with... Oops, I didn't mute myself again. Pfft, nice going, me. Let me mute myself real quick. There we go. So yeah, as I was trying to say before I rudely cut myself off there, I don't want to overdo it tonight with my voice by speaking too much. So I figured, before I jump into the next giant group of shows to talk about, let's finish talking, at least for now, finish talking about the previous group of shows. We had to wait like 6 hours for me to continue. So what shows do I have to talk about today? Well, we have episode 7 of Creature Commandos. We have episode 13 of Oshinoko Season 2, as well as episode 5 of Beast Games. I looked it up online. There's going to be 10 episodes of Beast Games, so we're only halfway into the show's season, or lifespan. It's probably just going to be a one and done. You know, given all the lawsuits, I doubt there's going to be a quote-unquote Season 2. You know, we're not going to get the total drama action to this total drama island first season. So yeah, let me take some water. Ugh. Alright, let me just prepare another picnic. And while I do that, I just want to mention, so I want to link down below a video I saw. It is a video by a channel called Stone, literally just Stone. And the title is, Why It Sucks to Be Born as a House Centipede. Yes, I know, it's those typical, like, why it sucks to be born as type of videos. But this one really caught my attention, just because, well, you guys know I don't like house centipedes. And you know I encounter them quite frequently when it's not wintertime. I don't know, it intrigued me. So I'm like, okay, let's learn why it sucks to be born as a house centipede. Oh, my throat may be feeling better and my nose isn't as stuffy, but I still feel a whole bunch of gunk inside my throat. Pause. Ugh, sorry. Ugh. So, the video has a lot of, like, you know, cute animations and funny voiceovers. Definitely give it a watch if you are like me, and you absolutely despise house centipedes as well, for, you know, for being the walking nightmares that they are. I mean, as I always say, they didn't choose to be born that way, they didn't choose to look so hideous and grotesque. So, you know, I don't like killing them, just because, well, they're innocent. They ain't staying in my house, but I don't like killing them either. Is this straight? Let me see if this is straight. Yeah, looks pretty straight to me. Oh yeah, one more thing before I start talking about some shows. It turns out that a couple days ago, the channel President's Discord server is posting again. If you guys don't know or don't remember, a couple months ago, one of the AI President's YouTube channels, President's Discord server, the person running that account completely lost their mind and, you know, had what looked like a mental breakdown, taking down all the videos, instead becoming a channel about, like, Jesus and the rapture and whatnot. So, I saw a video by the channel recommended to me today. Turns out it was posted like 3 days ago. You know, caught me off guard, caught me by surprise. Like, wait, I thought this channel was done for. I thought the person behind the channel completely lost his mind. So, what's this? I checked it out. Turns out it was the real channel. I was wondering too, it's like, is this just another channel with the same name and, like, doing the same format? No, it is the same channel. So, the person behind the President's Discord server channel made an apology, apologized to all his subscribers, and more importantly, channel members, you know, the people who paid to get, like, special treatment and, like, early access or whatever. Yeah, he just, like, ripped out all the videos that they paid for, ripped out all the content that they paid for with no explanation. Right? So he apologized, and then he explained, like, he really believed that there was going to be something biblical to happen in October. You know, specifically the rapture. Well, it came and gone and nothing happened. Dumbass. But, whatever. He apologized. We all make mistakes. That's exactly what he said. You know, he said stuff like, I made mistakes, I'm not perfect, just like you're not perfect. And it's like, well, maybe not the best time to, like, you know, use that argument. on your own viewers, but like, you know what, that's fair, that's true. Man, even though, like, that's exactly the same argument I would use if I ever get caught up in some internet drama and I have to make an apology. I would say the exact same thing. I would say, like, you know, I'm not perfect, just like nobody's perfect. Just like how you're not perfect, too. We all make mistakes and we move forward. We learn from those mistakes and we just keep on living life. I would use the same argument, but, you know, I recognize it also sounds kind of shitty as well. So yeah, the channel President's Discord server is posting again. It makes me very happy. You know, there was an era where a bunch of the President's AI content channels were one by one dying out. You know, a couple off the top of my head I can think of: AI Voiceverse, President's Play Games. You know, obviously President's Discord server, President's Play Horror Games, POTUS Play. One by one, all of them just stopped uploading. But, you know, not all of them stayed dead. Discord server and Play Horror Games, they came back. Those are only a handful of President's AI channels I watch. Damn it, I am sweating so much right now, and I just changed to a new shirt as well. Okay, so I think I got one more thing to mention before we start talking about these shows. So remember a couple parts ago, I don't even remember which part now, No Shame in Feeding mentioned that he was leaving the country. Well, he posted a picture, not posted, he sent me a picture like 6 in the morning. So he sent me a picture at like 6 in the morning, captioned tasty, and in his hand was one of those, I can only imagine is a Magikarp ice cream sandwich. Or maybe it's actually like a hot food item, I can't tell. Regardless, it was some sort of fish cake thing in the shape of a Magikarp. The bag had a Pokeball on it, and I can only assume the language on the bag is Japanese. So I replied to him like, bro, you got fried Magikarp in Japan? Because it really does seem like No Shame in Feeding went to Japan. Lucky bastard. First New Zealand, and now Japan. I mean, hey, the guy deserves it, right? Unlike me, he's actually competent enough to actually pass school on the first try. So, the guy deserves it. Excuse me, something in my mouth. Pause. Oh yeah, about that centipede video. I sent it to my friends in our group chat, and one of my friends asked me, aren't you like utterly terrified of these things? Yeah. And then he's like, and you watched a whole video of it, LOL. I'm just like, yeah, well, first it's animated, and second, like, why can't I? Right? Do you not watch, like, say, movies? Movies themed with, like, wars and destruction? Like, do you not watch things that you two are afraid of? You know, nobody likes war unless you're like Shao Kahn. Nobody wants World War III, so it's like, do you not watch war movies or disaster movies? Right? It's already been 13 minutes of Bowie Base. Alright, let's start talking about these shows again, finally. So up first, we have episode 7 of Creature Commandos, the final episode. This is going to be the last episode of Season 1, or the only season. Who knows if this show's going to get a Season 2? I highly doubt it. You know, it's probably just going to be a one and done. So, episode 7. This is primarily a Nina-centered episode. We get Nina's backstory in this episode. Which, I have to say, James Gunn, if anything, has done an excellent job so far. Writing the story, and, you know, making it to where we learn each character's backstory where it fits the best with the present-day story. Aside from, I guess, maybe Dr. Phosphorus. Present-day Dr. Phosphorus wasn't doing much, and then we just got his backstory. Alright, so we learn in this episode Nina's backstory. She was indeed born human. However, she has a rare condition, which is supposedly an actual thing that can happen in real life, where a baby is born with the lungs on the outside of the body. And you guessed it, causing a lot of health problems in life. You know, I also don't understand in this show, like, why everyone calls them monsters, but Nina's the only one like, I was human. I am human. You know, when characters like, say, Dr. Phosphorus, he was clearly human. In fact, he was probably human for a lot longer than Nina was. You know, a character like the Bride, if you really want to squint and make the argument, she's made from human parts sewn together and then given life, but, like, does that really count? Someone like Weasel, well, that's out of the question. Unless we learn he really is human and he turned into Weasel. But we haven't learned that. So anyways, yeah, Nina was indeed born human, but with lungs outside of her body. Her father, being a brilliant scientist, I forget his name, you know, wants to do what he can to save his daughter's life. And not only that, give his daughter a happy life. Nina's mother, on the other hand, you know, she regrets basically having Nina. And, after Nina's born, saying, like, it's not too late to, end her life support, quote unquote. Something like that. Well, Nina's mother walks out. Nina's father is left alone to raise her. He decides to try to give her better, not better, but give her a different kind of treatment. One where she won't be required to, haul around giant machinery just so she can breathe and stay alive. So he goes about changing her literal DNA and entire biology. So trying to give her something about, like, because there is a lot of fluid in her lungs, in her human lungs, if he changes some of her DNA to aquatic animals, she wouldn't have to deal with the fact that there's a lot of liquid in her lungs. But the experimentation, I guess it goes wrong, goes a little too far, and then her entire biology changes to that of a fish. So now Nina can only breathe underwater. Well, granted this is a terrible idea, but the guy went along with it anyways. Nina's father wanted to enroll her into an actual school so she can learn social norms. Like, what a terrible idea. You should absolutely know how kids are. If they see a literal walking fish around, you can bet that she's gonna be picked on. Like, come on now. You should have known that. There was a scene where Nina blushes at a boy that's next to her locker. A part of me was thinking, like, that went nowhere, but then I saw online people saying that he was the one who pranked her, putting that frog in her locker. So it's like, I didn't really see any connections or parallels there. It seemed like someone was actually trying to be genuinely nice to her. Well, Nina can't take it anymore. She writes a letter to her father saying, thank you for everything, Daddy, but I don't want to be a burden in your life anymore, so she runs away and, like, lives in the sewers, lives in the wild. So then Star City begins to cover the fact that there's this sea creature living in the sewers, living in the shadows of Star City. Nina gets captured. Her father goes to try to rescue her. I feel like the idiot could have tried something better instead of just forcing his way through the crowd and through the cops. He could have shouted, like, that's my daughter. Even if nobody believed him, he still could have tried that. Instead of just looking like a lunatic in the crowd trying to get his hands on the monster. So he tries to get closer to his daughter, but then, yet another cop with itchy fingers shoots and kills him. Right in front of Nina. And because Nina's out of water, she can't scream, she can't yell out to her dad. So, quite a tragic story. So far, a lot of the monsters, main characters in the show, have had tragic backstories. Phosphorus, Nina, Weasel, I guess you could say Bride as well. I did see a video out there that the bride was basically groomed by Victor Frankenstein. Which, I guess, yeah, I can see that argument. So that's basically the backstory portion of the episode. In present day, the group is getting ready to kill the princess. Princess Ilana, albeit kind of a stupid idea, but it was intentional. Princess Ilana, she decides to take a swim in her courtyard pond, I guess. She decides to take a swim to show the people, like, I am a princess that is not afraid. But, like, nobody's around. You know how far off your castle is from the rest of the townsfolk? Nobody sees you. The only people here are your knights, your guards. So it was deliberate in order to draw out the creature commandos. So our characters, they need to find a way to kill the princess who is swimming in water and surrounded by guards. The only one who can kill her, can't even get close enough to kill her, is Nina. However, over on the America side, Rick Flag briefly wakes up from his coma, utters enough words to Amanda Waller in order to tell her, you were wrong, you don't need to kill the princess. You know, that one college professor character wasn't actually who she said she was. So Amanda Waller and Economos go and investigate. They realize, oh shit, Clayface. Oh no, we shouldn't be killing the princess. Hurry up and call them. Try to get them to stop. Oh yeah, wait a second. Before they kill the princess, Frankenstein does get close enough to the bride because they're on the top of a tower, a watchtower. Frankenstein climbs up with a ginormous grin on his face, and Bride just does not hesitate. Pumps his chest full of lead. Oh, I gotta say, like, the more I think about it, what a sad existence for the two. The bride, you could argue, was groomed when she was first born. And then for literally the rest of her life, the rest of her existence, she just gets stalked and pursued by not only someone that she just doesn't like, she hates. And then poor Frankenstein as well, Eric Frankenstein, he just can't take a hint. He just cannot take a hint that she doesn't love him and just can't move on. So, on the security cameras, they see that another monster has visited Princess Ilana, but it's shrouded in, like, lens flare, so we can't tell at first. At first, I wasn't able to tell either. I wasn't really thinking. Trying to piece the puzzles. What? Put the puzzle pieces together in my mind. I wasn't really thinking. So yeah, they try to kill the princess. Bride gives Nina her blade to try to stab her in the water. However, Weasel, seeing her as a friend because the princess played fetch with her for so long, Weasel tries to warn her, try to save her. So he gets into the water to try to warn the princess, and we know how Weasel is with water. Speaking of water, drink water out there, folks, especially when you're sick. So, Nina and the princess... Wait, the princess realizes Nina's under the water and trying to kill her. So they both go under the water, they both fight, and then Princess Ilana actually manages to kill Nina with the blade. So, Nina's dead. Her own origin story episode, and she dies in the very episode. The very episode, for the first time in the entire show, where this character does something, she gets killed off. So tragic. And it really does make you think, like, what was the point of even having her on the team to begin with? Right? She doesn't really have any powers or abilities or really any use to the team. Unless, say, the princess was in the specific position where she was in water. Right? Aside from that, Nina served no purpose to the team. But whatever. So the princess kills Nina. They all, recoup inside the castle. Being like, alright, we forgive you, American monsters. You were just following orders. Bride, however, she takes it upon herself. She goes to the princess's office, speaks to her alone, and then she begins to explain. Like, you know, the princess says exactly that. Like, I don't hold it against you, you're just following orders. That witch Cersei wanted me dead, probably because of jealousy or something. But then Bride, no, she pieced it together. Bride believes Cersei was right, that Princess Alana really was going to destroy the world. So first she seduced Flag to get him on her side, and then, when Cersei wasn't killed, oh my god, how'd the story go again? Yeah, when Cersei wasn't killed, she would try to tell the Americans of the truth behind Alana. So, she asked her friend Clayface to pose as the professor and, try to not vouch for Cersei's vision. So Bride pieced it all together. Bride wasn't going to kill the princess because she was going to start the Third World War, not because she was going to, whatever. But, she was going to kill her because she killed the one and only friend she had. So then you got the Suicide Squad style draw, but really quickly, Bride just shoots her in the head. Killing her, and then Bride, Phosphorus, and Weasel just leave, just walk off. And that's pretty much where it ends. Except, we got a post-credit scene, where we see Frankenstein alive, and with the old woman who I think called her with the shirtless Zac Efron phone. At first I thought it was a flashback to his origin episode. Like, with the old lady, the blind old lady who nursed him back to health. I thought it was a flashback to that. But no, it was a present day clip. They're having, Sparrow dropping soup? So it's literally shit soup, feces soup. Is that a thing? I suppose human beings are willing to try and eat anything. I mean, hell, we have coffee that comes from cat poop, don't we? Or we have cheese that's shit out by, maggots, don't we? And, yeah, that's pretty much it for Creature Commandos. What do you guys think of Creature Commandos? Oh yeah! By the end of the episode, our characters, our monsters are back in Belle Reve. And we see some familiar faces. We see a cameo from King Shark. And then we also see that G.I. Robot is alive. Not only alive, but also upgraded to have a much bulkier body. So, yay! Oh man, I kind of wish G.I. Robot would have stayed in the show longer. There was also a moment where Bride calls Phosphorus Ghost Rider. Alright, I'm gonna give my voice a couple minutes to rest before I talk about Oshinoko. Let's change up the music. I'm trying to think of what other song I could play. Gonna change the music to something else for a little bit. You know, my brother-in-law's upstairs. He probably hears me blasting all this music and having no idea why. Ugh. Oh, the light on my 3DS just turned red, so I need to charge it. I need to plug it in. Alright, excuse me for just a second. Don't want the rubber band in between the cord and the charger. What? There we go. Ugh. gonna close the door real quick. Ugh. Whoops. Excuse me. Alright, let's... Nope, you are not playing a damn Wix ad right now. Alright, let's talk about the Oshinoko Season 2 finale, Season 2 Episode 17. What? 17? Season 2 Episode 13. I don't know where I got 17 from. Alright, so this episode was pretty great when it came to setting up future storylines. It really has you thinking like, oh my god, where's the story gonna go? Where's the plot gonna go now? So, aftermath of Ruby and Akane finding a dead body, you know, they reported to the authorities. I guess in a good way we skipped all over... What? Skipped all over that. You know, them freaking out about a dead body, calling it in, police come and get their statements, right? I guess it's a good thing we skipped over that. Because in my mind, I was kind of picturing, like, you know, Ruby crying into Miyoko's arms. What was her name again? Yeah, Miyako. Whoops. Her. Although, like, in my mind, I was picturing Ruby crying into her arms. Not because, you know, she's traumatized finding a dead body, but because she now knows that the person she loves is dead, and has been dead for a long time. So, understandably so, everyone's worried about Ruby, right? She came here to do a job, record a music video, but now this happened. You know, finding a dead body for someone their age is traumatizing, is like life-changing, right? Understandably so, everyone's worried about Ruby. Though, you know, unknown to literally everyone, Ruby's not sad that she found a dead body. She's sad that the person she loves has died. We get this cut moment. Oh, actually, before I talk about that. So, there is a scene between Aqua and Akane where, you know, Aqua also, understandably, apologizes to Akane. Like, I'm sorry you had to go through that. You know, I was the one who invited you to this trip. Had I not done that, you would not have had to experience all that. So Akane, once again, realizes that Aqua's shouldering all the blame, all the burden on himself. Akane gets kind of mad, like, that's not fair. Why do you get to shoulder everything? Why does all the blame have to go to you? That's not fair. But then, Aqua reveals that he's been using Akane this whole time. Not only to, further his own acting career to try to reach higher up in the food chain, but he what's the word I'm looking for? Like, he knowingly provoked Akane, telling her about, his friend searching for a dead body, hoping that she would go out of her way to find it. So Aqua reveals that he's been using her this whole time. Surprisingly enough, maybe it's blinded by love, or maybe, her understanding of Aqua's position, his revenge and all that. Akane's like, yes, I know you've been using me this whole time. Just like, really, girl, and you played along with it? Then again, I guess I can't blame you. You know his position. You know his urge for revenge and vengeance. So then Akane prepares to truly end things with him. Like, you don't need me anymore, do you? You're better off on your own, aren't you? Akane actually tries to break up with Aqua, tries to part ways with him, but then her true emotions show and she starts crying. Aqua, though, now letting go of all his vengeance, realizing that his revenge is over, quote unquote. And then, now that his revenge is over, he can actually live a happy life. So, he chooses to be with Akane. So he actually genuinely kisses her for the first time. Which, good job, man. You finally did something right. Man, that might sound harsh. But, good for you. Out of the 3 options for you, out of Akane, out of Kana, and your goddamn sister, Ruby, who we know, is Sabrina, but, still. I still would say Akane is the best option for him, even though I know in my heart that that's not the end game. Okay, now we get this cut. Now we get this cut moment where... Actually, I'm trying to think, the sequence of events. Because there is this moment... There is this one moment where Ruby goes back to the hospital, goes back to the rooftop she once was when she was Sabrina all those years ago. However, this time, she is greeted by that silver-haired little girl surrounded by crows. We don't even learn the character's name. So she tells Ruby the groundbreaking news, wait, there were 2 culprits that day. She reveals to Ruby that the day the idol came here to give birth in secrecy was also the exact same day the doctor was killed. Not only that, there were suspicious persons around the area that day. Not 1, but 2. There were 2 people who are the culprits that day. The one who killed I was found found dead later on. So that means there's 1 more culprit out there. There's another culprit out there. Ruby now realizes the person behind the death of not only her mother, but the man she loved, is still out there. Just as they're about to shoot, Ruby sheds a tear, but then her face gets shown to the camera. You see the stars in her eyes has gone black. Now the role of revenge and vengeance has fallen upon Ruby. Now Ruby wants to seek out and kill whoever did this to the people she loved. Now Ruby is put on the path of vengeance. The story, man, I tell you. There was also the scene where Ruby and Akane were in bed. Ruby asking Akane Do you know why my brother went into acting? If anyone knew, you should know. Akane, not wanting to give away too much, she gives little hints, but enough. She doesn't give the whole story, but enough. She tells Ruby he wants to meet someone. Probably someone... He wants to meet someone high up in the industry. Probably someone who's a famous actor. Hours pass as Ruby ponders that thought. She discovers why Aqua has started acting. She realizes her brother was on this path of vengeance the whole time. So they go to the shrine to pray. Everyone asks, for their own wish. Ruby's wish. I hope my brother finds the killer soon. Something like that. We also see, the music video, full edited music video they've been working on this whole time. And if you pay attention throughout the music video, Ruby's eye has a black star in it. It's no longer lit up with the joys of life. It is now black, burdened with revenge and, vengeance. What I love the most about that detail is the fact that you watch the music video, it's not consistent. There would be times when Ruby's eye, the star in her eye is white, and then there's moments where it'd be black and then it's white again. Showing, obviously, they didn't film the music video in order. They filmed out of sequence. So the moments where the star in her eye is black, you can tell when that was filmed. It was filmed after the dead body incident. I love that. I love the little details like that. So yes, now Ruby knows the truth. There is still another culprit out there, but Aqua doesn't know that. Aqua has, renounced his life of vengeance. Aqua doesn't know that his father's still out there. Ruby doesn't even know that their father is a target, is one of the wanted victims. One of the wanted culprits. So, everyone knows the truth, but nobody shares it to actually find the answer. Akane knows the truth about Aqua's vengeance and some sort of loophole that he missed. Ruby now knows the truth. There were 2 culprits, one of them still out there, and now she knows her brother was on the path, but she doesn't know he's no longer on it. So, there's so many left fields. So there's so many turns and twists. I just can't wait. Now, the question does come up, who the hell is that little girl? How does she know all this stuff, right? The question still comes up, what was that loophole that Aqua didn't realize, but Akane did? I thought of another loophole that is a little more far-fetched. What if Himekawa is working for Aqua's father, right? So he deliberately paid off Himekawa to, mislead Aqua? So yes, so he's basically, Himekawa is team their father. Himekawa is working with their father and is, on his side, working with him to deliberately throw Aqua off the trail. Now, that is a stretch, I admit. But, it's better than assuming the other conclusion I came to, which would be I had another child much younger, at 10 or 11, which is just no. Well, we get a year, not a year, we get a time jump by the end of the episode. I think 6 months has passed. So, show-wise, 1 year has passed. Because remember, Season 2 takes place 4 months after the first season. I can literally feel my throat burning as I speak. So now Aqua and Akane are officially an item. There was this hot springs scene, which of course it was at a hot spring, or more like a bathhouse, whatever, where Akane low-key reveals the news to Kana. It's like, man, poor Kana, she just cannot catch a break. That's primarily the episode. We do have a post-credit scene. We see another girl dying at the hands of Ruby and Aqua's father. And then we finally see what his face looks like. He lets down his blonde hair, and then we see that he has 2 black stars in his eyes. So, this dude is still out here doing the exact same thing. We are now dealing with a true menace to society. Someone who, you know, it seems like what he's doing is seducing women, sleeping with them, and then killing them. Our characters are now dealing with a literal woman serial killer. So, the story's getting crazy. I'm excited to see where the story is being set up. Alright, there's the Season 2 finale. I gotta go pee real quick. I'll be right back. Alright, once again, I'm gonna let my voice rest before I talk about Beast games. I'll be pissed if I wake up tomorrow and my throat is worse than it was today. Undoing all the progress. You ever wonder if animals get sore throats? You know, if animals catch colds and then have sore throats. I mean, I would assume so, right? Because animals aren't immune to getting bacteria in their throat. Like, you think my dogs, whenever they get sore throats, they just don't know what it is, but they just know they need to power through it? Because I highly doubt they know to drink more water. You know what's something else I thought of a little while ago? What do animals in the wild do when they have diarrhea? You know, animals don't exactly wipe like we humans do. So when they make an absolute mess, what do? Do they just leave it? Like, there's just a bunch of shit on their butthole and they just leave it? Do they, like, try to find the nearest water source and wiggle their buttocks in the water to clean up? Or, like, do they do the thing where dogs drag their butt across the floor? So, that health issue with my sister, whatever it is, well, my mom told me some unfortunate news earlier today. Not that she's dying or anything. She told me earlier today that... So, my mom has been going with my sister to go to this, like, Chinese remedy doctor place for a couple days now. And my mom told me that the doctor told her, you guys can come one more time to get checked out, and then you don't need to come anymore. Essentially just telling us, like, we don't even know what's wrong with her. Like, you guys can keep coming, but there's nothing we can do. We don't know what it is. We don't know how to help you. Like, we won't even take your money to, you know, try to help you, because we just can't help you. We don't know what it is. We can't help you. It's like, wow, that's great to hear. Thanks. Oh yeah, so something I forgot to mention about Oshinoko. Not really about the show, just in general. Like, damn, it would be really nice if I had someone to talk to about the show and theorize with. You know, maybe someone who recommended the show to me and didn't fucking quit it. Say the same guy who recommended From to me. So he told me a sentence that had one truth and one lie. At least one lie in it. Let me try to find the sentence. Here it is. So he said to me, I didn't watch all of season 2, but I didn't quit. And I'm just like, liar! Literally only one half of that statement can only be true. Ugh. Bro, why Mewtwo? Why? Just be shiny so I can move on.
Hey.
Cliff Bar. Alright, so I just messaged that friend of mine who quit Yoshinoko and recommended me From that I'm about to talk about Beast Games. I asked him did he watch it yet, he said yeah, as well as Squid Game. So let's see if he shows up or not. Well, we'll give him a few minutes, see if he wants to join or not. Let my voice continue to rest. You know, I heard some pretty based jokes recently. So I saw this post on Instagram. This could be offensive, however you take it. So you know how we have literal erasers, like erasers when we make a mistake writing something in pencil, and erasers come in many different colors. So we have erasers that are literally black. So we have black erasers. Nah, black erasers. And then it just shows a picture of police. Like, it's more of a visual joke. Black eraser? Nah, police. Black eraser. And then I heard this one too. Ahem. Boobs are natural stress balls attached to like the most stressful, like the most stress-inducing. I don't want to say object, but you know what I mean. So boobs are natural stress balls attached to what gives the most amount of stress. Something like that. Never heard a more based joke in my life. No, I'm kidding. I probably heard worse ones. I'm almost tempted to try to, chip in my my Ultra Sun instead to see if maybe Mewtwo will be kinder to me on Ultra Sun instead of Ultra Moon. But I can't because I already found Latios on Ultra Sun. Latios is just patiently waiting for me to hunt her in Ultra Sun while, I'm caught up hunting Mewtwo right now. I wish Mewtwo would be caught up by me when it's shiny. But until then, well, it's just, we continue on this waiting game. I don't think this dude is joining. You know, I got a friend who constantly kind of like almost teases this girl. So he's friends with this girl, and only friends. She is very much interested in him, but he's not interested in her. Not one bit. And it's like, damn, your standards must be so high, because you're saying she doesn't look really that good at all, and I'm just like, she's okay, you know, she's average. She's not stunning, but she's not hideous, you know, she's average, right? And you're saying she's less than average, like, damn, your standards must be sky high. I'd love to see what your definition of a 10 out of 10 is. But it's like, yeah, so they hang from time to time. So he tells the group chat that he gets text messages from her. And he's just like, oh, she's texting me again, oh. And I'm just like, brother, stop teasing this poor girl, you know? And you know, some of us obviously, you know, are like rooting for him, like, yo man, you about to do this. You about to get with this girl. We about to all celebrate for you. He's just like, what? I don't want that. I don't want to be with her. You know, you can't force someone to be with someone if they don't want to be. You know, we're all saying, yo man, like, it's a very missed opportunity right here. You have someone who clearly likes you, and you're not going for it. But he just doesn't have any interest in her whatsoever. So it's like, well, can't force a guy. You know, I can only dream of being so lucky to be in a position where a girl wants me, but I don't want her. Let's face it, that'll never happen. In fact, in my experience, it's always been the other way around. So, you know, it would be nice to have the roles reversed for a change, but let's be honest, that's never going to happen. I am still hatching Sneasel eggs. It's been like 2 weeks, and I'm still on this. I've gotten 3 female shinies in a row. I just need 1 male, and I'm done with this hunt. You know, I also saw another video recently. Not really what if, but like, could Batman stop the Squid Games? Finally, someone asking the important questions in life. And I think, yeah, Batman, yeah, he probably absolutely could take down the Squid Game operation. Obviously, you know, prep time, right? I'm about to go pee again, and then when I come back, we'll talk about Beast Games. Alright, I'm gonna go pee real quick. What happened to the music? Did it end? Oh, it did end. Alright, be right back. Alright, that from recommended Oshinoko quitting friend of mine is not showing up. Can you believe he recommended both shows to me? Yet he quit Oshinoko, but not From. In fact, the idiot actually watched Season 2 of From before Season 1. Alright, so let's talk about Breast Games, Episode 5. So, 9 people compete for the island. I gotta say, off the top, if there was one person who I did not want to win the island, it was the lady. Just because of, because I know people are gonna spin it like you don't want a black woman to win. No, not that. The reason I didn't want her to win was because of her attitude. Like, the way she just acted. You know, it's like, oh my god, this person's smug attitude. I really hope anyone but her wins. But then, spoiler, she makes it to the final 2. So she has a 50-50 chance to win the island. Alright, so Mr. Beast put these guys through a plethora of challenges in order to try to win the island. Why does the word island have an S, by the way? Anyways, it's kind of like the word aisle. Like an aisle of the supermarket. Anyways, so the first game they play is hide and seek, being hunted down by Navy SEALs. What would my strategy be for that? I would either... Let's see. I would either climb up high into a tree. Well, first of all, I would consider taking off my clothes, as in, like, the blue jerseys that I'm wearing, because blue is a very obvious color. I mean, hey, Mr. Beast never stated that's against the rules to take off your very obvious and bright colored jersey. So, assuming that's not against the rules, I would definitely take it off. I would either climb up high into the trees, or I would completely bury myself with piles upon piles of stuff, like mud, twigs, whatever. Or, and this one's going to be a little more challenging, in fact, it's going to be extremely challenging, find something like a straw to breathe with, and then hide underwater. Now, that's going to have to account for a lot of things. The water isn't, you know, crystal clear. I can find something to use to breathe. And, preferably, I'm able to see underwater. So, you know, if I'm hiding in the ocean, in salt water, well, that's already game over. So that option's the hardest one. And I'm not gonna lie, the terms and agreements for competing for this island are brutal as well. Not only do you get eliminated from the game itself, you lose your chance to win the 5 mil. Yeah, you lose that and the chance to win an island, so you're losing like $6.8 million altogether. And you lost it all because you chose to compete for an island over having a relaxing, all expenses paid vacation. And you know, the more I thought about it, and I don't remember what I said last time, if I said I would join the competition for the island or not. The more I thought about it, the more I realized, hell no, I would not compete for that island. Because, like, what the fuck am I doing with an island, right? Like, if I didn't win the 5 million, but then I won an island, yes, I could sell the island, there is that. But aside from that, if I keep the island, what the fuck am I do with an island? You know? I doubt it's already renovated with Wi-Fi and electricity and indoor plumbing. Then again, I don't know. Mr. Beast had to build shelters for them to live in, so maybe it is. Or at least indoor plumbing at the very least. If not, then I would have to take care of all that myself. You know, if I ever want to go to a relaxing beach vacation, sure, I can go here all the time. But then the question's like, well, how the hell do I get there? I win the island, I don't win a boat ride, like a lifetime boat ride to get there, or even a plane. You know, a private jet or a helicopter to take me there, so like, you know, I win a damn island, what the hell am I gonna do with it? How am I supposed to get onto it without paying a buttload of money just to get myself onto my island? So anyways, so I'm trying to think, like, what was the second game after hide and seek? After hide and seek... Oh yeah, it was throwing the coconut. So each player got a coconut. They were supposed to throw it as far as they can, as close to a red line as they can. And whoever passes the red line is out. And whoever doesn't, like whoever throws the shortest distance is also out. Seems like a pretty simple enough game, right? Though somebody had to lose. In fact, 2 people had to lose, so somebody had to take those spots. Seems like a simple enough game. And then up next, they had all of the remaining contestants who were enjoying their vacation swing by on a yacht and then vote for the next person they want to see out. There were 9 people competing for the island. There were now 6. So they needed to vote someone out. And let me tell you, oh boy, if I wasn't eliminated yet and I chose to compete for the island, I would have been gonzo here. Because, you know, if I were here and I made it up to this point, 2 options. One, I don't know if you guys could tell this at this point, but I'm not very social. I'm not very good with talking to people. And if I went on to Beast Games, I sure as hell would not go on to make friends. You know, because one person is going to win, right? Only one. Yes, it's helpful to make friends and allies along the way. Yes, I get that. But that would not be my mindset. So, people would already know, like, okay, we don't really know that guy, and he's made it this far. He could be a silent but deadly threat. Let's take him out. And, assuming that I did indeed choose to, you know, screw my entire team over, press the button, win the $1 million, eliminate a bunch of competition, win $1 million, and get to keep competing. And assuming I made it past, you know, the block game where 2 other people miraculously let me win, or let me move on, or at least one other person decided to let me win. Yeah, they would vote me out, like, yeah, that guy, he selfishly eliminated his entire team. He's only in it for the money, he's only in it for himself, he's a danger to us all, we gotta kick him out. We gotta vote him out. Right, so if I made it to this point, and assuming I chose to compete for the island, I would have been voted out. So anyways, this guy gets voted out. We're now down to 5 of 9 competing for the island. So now, they have a game where there are 5 mystery blocks. One person gets chosen team captain, and he has to decide, okay, there's going to be 4 check marks in 4 boxes. One box has an X. He gets to choose, in whichever order he likes, to bring in people and either help them or misguide them to choose boxes with either check marks or the X. And, of course, in this case, if I was in that position, I would preferably be the team captain. You know, the person who chooses who gets question marks or who to potentially misguide to be out. And this is the part where I really started not liking that lady. It's like, my goodness, her attitude. Her smug attitude. It's like, oh, I really hope she not only... That dude texted me, he said he's playing lethal. Anyway, so yeah, that smug lady's attitude, I was really hoping not only does she not win, I hope she gets, you know, I hope she loses here. But nope, she continues. The next game, they were about to do pirate ships. Pirate ships launching actual cannonballs onto like little sailboat ships, trying to sink them. However, Jimmy gave them a bribe deal. $450,000 worth of gold, so a quarter of the island's worth. 4 people. The first guy took it. So they completely skip over the whole pirate ship scene. The pirate ship game of firing cannons. They completely skip over it. Instead, opting out and giving us a CGI cannonball hitting the moon. Alright. Like, they built the entire pirate ship set just to not even use it. In fact, I believe beginning of the very first episode, they teased that they were going to be on a real-life pirate ship firing cannons, and we didn't even see that. It didn't even happen. They just completely glossed over it because one person decided to take the bribe money. Alright, I guess all that money was wasted building the set. Can you imagine how expensive it would be to build an actual functioning pirate ship from the ground up? So now 3 people remain. And they do this game where they have to take steps towards a golden coconut, which, let's be honest, it was just a coconut spray painted gold. It was pretty funny. The fact Mr. Beast would use a coconut, an ordinary, legitimate coconut, just spray painted gold. Like, it was pretty funny. Like, that's what he would use to signify, like, a special reward. You know, it's not an actual, like, let's say, plastic coconut that they molded. It was just a regular coconut they spray painted gold. I thought that was pretty funny. So the 2 guys intentionally sabotage each other, hoping that the one lady would, you know, pick them, but she can only pick one. Which I'm just like, guys, that was so stupid. Especially the guy who she didn't pick. Like, you knew. My God, your misplaced faith in her. After seeing her smug attitude when you were picked team leader. Like, come on. That was stupid. Your misplaced trust in her cost you the game. You should have known better. So, down to the final 2. So, the final game is, you know, briefcases. 2 players remaining. The way the game works, they both have 2 briefcases in front of them. One with a paper deed to the island that has not yet been signed by Mr. Beast, and the other with an actual X inside. They shuffle around the briefcases. Both players have to choose one briefcase to take. So whoever ends up with 2 briefcases, both of them having the deed to the island inside, wins. And if it's a tie, well, just do it again. Do it until someone gets both briefcases with the deed inside. And at this point, this annoying lady with the attitude, I don't know if it was a crocodile what? I need to drink water. I don't know if it was crocodile tears or if she was being genuine in the moment. I like to hope she was being genuine. You know, she starts crying and saying like she has not had a good life. It's like, yes, okay, that is sad. Like, if you genuinely have not had a good life, then, you know, you deserve some victories, some wins in your life, right? But I find it hard to believe, given her attitude, her smug attitude throughout the episode. Maybe that's just me, right? Well, the episode actually ends right before they open their briefcases and we find out who won. You know, it's like when Nintendo Capri Sun did his Zelda randomizer and he ended the video right as the chest was gonna open and revealing what was inside. Oh man, I gotta say that is a creative way to end the episode on a cliffhanger. It's kind of like Negan. We find out who he killed. Or rather, we don't find out who he killed. So yeah, Beast Games, episode 5. There you go. You think the people knew they cooked when they made this theme? When they made this Dr. Wily theme? You think they knew, listening back to their own work, like, yeah, we made a banger. We made something legendary here. You know, last time, let's see, 16 and a half, 17 and a half, 8. So last time we would have reached 18 hours hunting for Mewtwo. Now that we're 2 hours past, we are officially 20 hours into shiny hunting Mewtwo with no results, no luck. $20 hours. That's like, you know, 3 to 4 days of me genuinely hunting non-stop on my own. So, yeah, that basically concludes, for the most part, all the shows that I've been watching previously. You know, Creature Commandos, Oshinoko, The Boys Season 1, Squid Game Season 2. The only show that isn't done yet is Beast Games. So I'll continue to talk about that until the show's over. And then I'm jumping into a bunch of new shows. So I've already seen an episode for majority of them already. I've already seen episode 1 of The Boys Season 2. I've seen Arcane episode 1. I have seen... I think that's it. I have yet to watch an episode of, like, you know, Secret Level or Dead Boy Detectives. Debating if I want to talk about those now, or should I save those for later on. Since there's really no rush for Dead Boy Detectives, I guess I could squeeze in Secret Level. Because for a couple of episodes, I'm not going to have anything to talk about, because I just don't really know those game franchises. Because, you know, I don't want to watch too much, since we're getting Spider-Man friendly neighborhood Spider-Man later this month. Or was it next month? I don't remember. And, you know, I don't really care that much, given how wokeified the show looks. I'll still check it out for the sake of completion, but, like, know that I'm not really excited for it. And know that I'm not happy my white man with waves, Norman Osborn, has been turned black. Or the fact that Harry Osborn looks like, I don't know, looks like a lesbian now. Whoops. You know, there's this one recommended. Pokemon Black and White N Final Battle Music. I don't remember what this sounds like. What did this sound like? Oh, never mind. I remember now. Anyone else excited for Black and White Kyurem coming to Pokemon Go? It's going to be the first game ever we can get both Black and White Kyurem in the same game. The first time ever. Ain't that crazy? Man, I hate the fact that to this day, not even Pokemon Home, not even the fact that we can't have them in Pokemon Home. I hate the fact that to this day, we can't even have both forms in a single game at the same time. We can have both forms of Necrozma in a game, Same with Calyrex. Well, actually, no, I don't think so for Calyrex. Like, we still cannot have both forms together. Like, both forms separately in the same game at the same time. For some reason, Necrozma's fine. They allowed us to do that with Necrozma, but not for Kyurem, and then the same thing for Calyrex. What about this? How did this one sound again? Ah, right. You would think I would remember what this sounds like, given how many times I played through the damn game. Well, folks, I'm gonna end this soon. Couple minutes. Couple more minutes of this. Wasn't Mewtwo shiny locked in X and Y? Ugh, why did I expect anything different tonight? Why did I expect shiny Mewtwo at all? Hmm? Should have known. No shiny Mewtwo. Should have known. Why did I have hope that it would happen tonight? Hmm? Is this my legacy? I'm just gonna be known as a guy that can't get shiny Mewtwo? Oh yeah, you know something I thought about? You know how sometimes when sons are named after their fathers, they're the junior. What if the daughter is named after the mother? You don't really hear someone be named Junior when it's a girl. You don't really hear like Sarah Jr. or Julie Jr. or uh, Amber Jr., right? Does it just not sound as nice when it's a girl's name? Alright, I'm gonna do like one or two more resets and call it for tonight. Oh. Alright, this will be the last reset I do for tonight. We are now 20 and a half hours in to shiny hunting Mewtwo, and no shiny. Come on, last encounter. You know what? I give up. I don't want shiny Mewtwo anymore. You can keep your shiny. Psych! Ugh. No shinies tonight. Alright, that'll be it for today. Thanks for watching, everyone. See you all next time. Bye.